Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Xbox just finished their Xbox game showcase for the Series X coming out this holiday season. The primary focus of this showcase was to show off Halo Infinite's main gameplay of their campaign. Everybody's excited about Master Chief coming back. And they're also going to show gameplay and world premiere trailers from 9 of the 15 studios that Xbox Game Studios helps operate. So it was a lot of anticipation leading up to this. A few weeks back, Xbox did show a showcase that was a little bit lackluster. A lot of people had some mixed reaction and everything like that. Then PS5 showed their event, and it just seems like after each person showing their event, nobody's ever happy. I saw some already real-time reactions from people after this Xbox game showcase, and it just seems like this next generation definitely has a mixed reception in regards to things and games and what's going to happen. Because let's be honest, when there was a leap from PS2 to PS3 and PS3 to PS4, there was notable differences in graphical capabilities and stuff, and the main consensus is a lot of these games, more particularly what we saw today, are games that don't really show anything that shows a real reason to even get a new console to jump ahead and move forward into the next generation. And while I'm going to give my thoughts on that, first I'm going to give a recap of what we saw today because I was really excited about this. So let's go ahead and begin. So the pre-show was the first hour, and they actually showed some stuff on the actual thing. They showed some world premieres that you may have missed. I know a lot of people kind of got confused on when the actual presentation started. I thought it was going to be at 9, but it turns out it was later, and then they showed the actual showcase afterwards. But anyways, they confirmed that it was not going to be anything about hardware. There was no release dates, no pricing. So that's kind of concerning, but in this market, economy, the way that everything's changing right now, the price has to be a fair value, something affordable so they could sell actual consoles. PlayStation hasn't shown or released anything as far as that goes either. So both PlayStation and Xbox are still kind of in a standstill. Anyways, the first world premiere they showed during the pre-show was Dragon Quest XI's Definitive Edition. This was the game that is out on the Nintendo Switch, but it's been announced as coming in December. Not only is it going to be available, but it will be on Game Pass. So that is big, and this is actually the first foray of the Dragon Quest series on an Xbox console, period. So this was kind of a nice, little treat for Microsoft fans, people that are diehard Microsoft. Maybe they don't have a Switch or anything that's ever had a Dragon Quest thing onto it. I personally have never played this, but it looks pretty cool. It has a 2D mode and a new, types of new content and stuff like that. So it's a definitive edition. They also showed a new free-to-play game called Exo Mecha. I don't know. This is coming out 2021. It's from a smaller studio. It doesn't look like anything that I haven't played before. Sure, it has like some Transformer-looking type of characters and stuff like that. It looks action-packed. It remains to be seen what this is going to be like. I don't know. It was kind of neat that they showed it off. They also showed a new outlook, like a new look at Watch Dogs Legion. Showed like a very cinematic trailer and stuff like that. I like Watch Dogs. So I think the way that they're taking this franchise into a new direction is quite interesting. But I was like, okay, come on, let's see some like world premieres of new stuff. Echo Generation was actually shown in this, and this looked kind of like a Stranger Things thing. It's coming 2021. Had a creepy vibe to it, like a pixel, like square looking type of like retro aesthetic with like some 1980s in it. Even the host Jeff Keighley was like, oh, this has like a Stranger Things vibe to it. It kind of attracted my attention, and I'm probably going to actually check this one out, especially because it was announced that everything that you're seeing today is going to be on Game Pass, so you can actually try before you buy and all that. Like, I don't know, what's the slogans that they use? It had like some RPG aspects to it. The combat looked turn-based, and it definitely perked my interest. So, Echo Generation coming 2021. This was one that I looked at. And then they also revealed a Hello Neighbor sequel. It's weird. It has like a different look. The series has actually changed. This one looks a bit more creepy. Looks real Tim Burton-y. I think it has come a long way in the looks department. I've played briefly Hello Neighbor, and I don't know. I can see where the appeal's at. A lot of people play it on their Let's Plays and on their streams and stuff. It has a following as far as like the younger demographics go, and I saw some people were really excited about this. And then they kind of showcased ID at Xbox, which were like they have like these indie development type of games and stuff, and it seems like they're pushing a lot of smaller studios to come out with content. And I know people get fed up with the whole shovelware and smaller indie titles and stuff like that, but I just gotta say, there's just something about indie games that really excites me, and to see some of these smaller studios getting these cool ideas out, getting these unique franchises, starting out with some like artistic looking video games and stuff like that, really excites me. I saw a bunch of games in there that I cannot wait to half-ass review on this channel. But anyways, the pre-show ended with a huge bomb, with something that caught me off guard. So Balan Wonderworld, or Wonderland, is brought to you by Mr. Naka, who I believe helped make Sonic and Knights. He's a legendary developer in Japan. They showed a lot of concept art, a lot of like development, like slides and drawings and stuff for this game. Then they showed some gameplay footage, and I have to say, this is like a costume-based 3D action platforming game with puzzle elements and stuff. It looks like something in the vein of like a Super Mario Odyssey or a Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. And to me, this looks like it might possibly be the sleeper hit. This is the game that probably perked my interest the most out of any game that was showcased today, and it was in the pre-show. And it's a shame, because I think a lot of people might have missed out on it because they were just so confused as to when the time of this presentation started. I gotta tell you guys, mark my words, Balan Wonderworld is going to be a hit. People are going to like this game for years to come. They're going to talk about it. This looks like it's going to be so much fun. Anyways, from here, the presentation began. Again, they were showing 9 out of 15 studios were going to be showcasing their games. They started off right off the bat with Halo. I was not expecting this. I didn't think they were going to start off with Halo. Start off with a cinematic type of sequence, like a cutscene. I personally have never played a Halo game, so I guess maybe this is leaving off of like a cliffhanger or something that was from a previous game. And I was feeling the anticipation of this reveal when it was first announced, and then it turned into gameplay footage. It kind of had like a start screen, press A to start demo, and it went into a good amount of gameplay that showed a lot of combat. It was very frantic, fast-paced. The frame rate looked good. It showed some vehicle usage. It showed use of the map. It showed some of the basic UI of the game. So it showed a lot of the core mechanics very quickly. It was fast-paced. It was actually a really long, in-depth showing. This is probably like one of the longest segments of the showcase. And essentially, it was a really good demo of what the game is going to begin and show with. And I enjoyed it for the most part. I just felt like maybe they should have showed the Halo a little bit later on in the presentation. Now, from here, they kind of showed a short trailer for State of Decay 3. Again, another franchise I never played, but they didn't really show any gameplay. It was just kind of a tease. So if you're not familiar with the series, it might not really entice you to get a Series X, which is the problem that I've seen a lot of people say going forward with the rest of this presentation. A lot of people were saying they didn't see anything that really wanted to suck them into getting a Series X, and that is a fair argument and stuff. But the one thing that I will say that is positive about the rest of this presentation is, holy moly, did they show games. The one thing that I really care about, anything, it doesn't matter if it's Xbox, Sony, or Nintendo, is showing games. Showing game after game after game after game. And if I'm to compliment anything in regards to this presentation, is the fact that they did not let up. Like, I was having to write notes and keep looking at my screen because sometimes I wouldn't even realize that a trailer started for a new game. But, you know, the fact that the jump from, you know, this generation from last generation is so close that the graphics still are kind of, they look like stuff that is from the current generation, is something that I feel this presentation did not really do a good job of showing. A lot of these games did look like they were for the PS4 or the Xbox One, when that's a huge dilemma when wanting to convince people on that. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a good showcase of library and stuff. I'm not saying this was a solid, the best presentation ever, but imagine being upset that over 20 games were announced. I don't get that logic at all. But anyways, let's go right here. From the beginning, right at the beginning, they showed Halo. And then from there, they showed Forza Motorsport game that was used in-engine to make this trailer. I'm not a big racing guy. I don't know much about racers, but this actually looked really good. You could see the generation jump from last gen to current gen on this one. This was one of the few games on the showcase, which is why I brought it up, that showed that jump in graphics with the ray tracing and stuff like that. But it was really short, which concerns me. I would have liked to seen a lot more gameplay. From here, they showed Rare is back with a game called Everwild. Again, another trailer. This kind of looked like a watercolor type of game, like a cell shading type of artistic thing, but it was a very short trailer that didn't show any gameplay, didn't show any kind of information about what the game was. But it's nice to see Rare is actually developing games again. Maybe it'll be promising. I don't know. It showed like a few people circling around doing like some kind of enchantment with animals and stuff. From here, there was a dramatic story game called Tell Me Why. It looked like it took place in a snowy town setting. It's going to be episodic. The first episode releases in August, so that's kind of interesting. It's going to be a current and next-gen title. I couldn't really tell if this was open world or if it's going to be something smaller, like similar to like a Telltale games. Since it is episodic, I'm probably going to lean towards that it would be something more smaller, more narrative, maybe like puzzle elements and stuff like the Telltale games are. From here, they did show, Moon Studios showed an update. They're going to be re-releasing Ori and the Wisp for the Xbox Series X, a specifically designed game for the Series X that's going to have even more higher resolution, higher gameplay mechanics, a lot more further development as far as the way that the game looks. So I still haven't played it, but I'm looking forward to that. In addition to that, I know I'm all over the place right now, but because so much was rapid fire with this, they announced that all these games on the presentation will be on Game Pass. So to me, that is huge. Making your games accessible, having different ways to play them. I know a lot of people have a lot of these games are able to be played on the Xbox One and on the Xbox Series X, and a lot of people have a problem with that. They're like, why do I even need to buy a Series X? To me, the more options you have, the more accessibility you have, the better. It's almost like with PC gaming, where you can have like a basic PC, but then you can get it upgraded to play better resolution or 4K and stuff like that. I could see the appeal. I could see the idea where Microsoft is trying to do a little bit more of cross-platform accessibility right here, where you can play stuff on your PC, you can play stuff on your console. I don't know. I'm not typically an Xbox fanboy. I'm more of a Nintendo guy. But this day and age, I feel accessibility, backwards compatibility, and having your games available in several variety of different ways is very important. So it's showing and announcing that Game Pass is going to have these games, everything that you saw today, was a big feature in my opinion. But anyways, back to the topic. I'm sorry to have gotten sidetracked. My notes, so many notes here. Let's see. So from here, we got an announcement for Outer Worlds expansion, Peril on Gorgon. I'm sure this is going to be on the other consoles too, which is kind of weird that they showed it here, but I'm sure the Switch will get it, and everywhere else that Outer Worlds has it. I personally enjoyed Outer Worlds, so the trailer had a lot of quirky sci-fi 1950s cheese to it. From here, they showed an interesting game from Obsidian called Grounded, and it's a survival game where it takes place like in a backyard. You're very tiny. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The trailer had a great sense of humor. It's like, are you looking for the greatest game of the year? It was like, well, then wait for Cyberpunk. And I was all like, okay. That was funny. And then they showed some footage of it, some building mechanics, some survival, stuff like that. And then they threw a surprise for a big RPG announcement called Avowed. And it seemed like it was, they didn't show anything about it. It was more like a cinematic teaser. And yeah, so anyways, back from that, they advertised another thing, Drama is Dusk. They started just rolling the games out here. Hellblade 2, but they didn't really show anything. They just showed like a behind-the-scenes thing of Iceland. Jack Black made a cameo for music video for Psychonauts 2. It looked like a trippy 3D platformer game, like a lot of like LSD references and hippie references and stuff like that. They showed a Destiny 2 update, and then from there they just again went nuts. Stalker 2, Warhammer Dark Tide, Tetris Effect Connected. I know a lot of people were kind of complaining about that, but you know, Tetris is like the biggest puzzle thing in the world. So to see a new Tetris game, I'm personally excited for. The Gunk looked cool, had like a real like 3D platforming cartoon effect. The Medium, which is a game that I was looking forward to from the last presentation. Then they showed a new Genesis Phantasy Star Online trailer that looked fucking amazing. Cross-X campaign, and they ended it with a Fable reveal. So, I don't know. I think it was pretty interested. I think, you know, overall presentation, the fact that they showed so many games, I'm sure I missed some more stuff, some more announcements will be announced. I like the flow of games and everything, but I can understand the concern with the underwhelming thing. But it's like, this day and age, are people so entitled that they need huge, like every single game to be a huge blockbuster? I noticed this not even just with the Xbox, but I saw people complaining about the PS5 presentation a while back, and then most recently the Nintendo Direct presentation. So like, I don't understand where this whole huge expectation comes from when you're getting a new Halo, you're getting a new Fable. There was several titles announced. Now, albeit a lot of these seem like smaller studios, but Microsoft bought those studios for a reason, to be used, to develop new IPs, to develop new games, and they've made word on every single promise that they've made for the Xbox Series X. So while this didn't do a good job convincing people to buy a Series X, they specifically said at the beginning there's not going to be anything hardware related. There's still a lot of information to be revealed, still a lot of confirmation on the backwards compatibility, still a lot of confirmation on third-party games that are going to be available. There's still a lot of unknown and a lot of gray area, not just with Xbox, but with PlayStation 5 and this next current generation that, sure, first impressions are everything. Sure, first impressions are key. But, I mean, you don't want to bust your nut all in one presentation. Let there be some mysterious, you know, reveals. Let there be some announcements. Maybe a month from now, there'll be something else that is even big for both of the consoles. Overall, I'm excited to be getting a chance to play new consoles with new games. So, I don't see why, after something is shown, no matter what the company is, people have to get so upset. Again, this was an average reveal. This was an average showcase. Honestly, I would probably rank this showing at like a 7.5, maybe close to an 8. Again, I kind of was already going to be buying both of these consoles. So for me, I'm a little bit more easier to please. I could see where somebody that might consider buying a Series X over a PS5 might be hesitant now because, again, the jump with graphics and gameplay just wasn't there yet. So I'm hoping after this, Xbox steps it up a notch, and I hope PlayStation 5 steps it up a notch, because to be honest, I feel all the companies right now, sure there might be a pandemic, are kind of spinning their wheels a little bit and just kind of like playing it safe. So who knows what's going to happen? Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. You want to become part of the hashtag 8BE Nation, guys? Well, be sure to pick up your official merch, now available online. Link is below in the description. We got classic t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and even women's apparel. Don't forget, pick up your official merch now. And while you're at it, guys, feel free to watch the next video, or why don't you catch up on one that you might have previously missed. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you are brand new. Thanks again, guys. Peace out.